Sans' personality can be summarized with this quote: "My god, is it hot in here, or is it just me?" Sans is just a kid, really. He really only has one ambition in life, and that is to be a hero. He's naive about the world, and in the first Undertale canon story, he is the only character that does not believe a monster can exist. In the first episode, Bad Boy, he desperately begs his group of friends to not believe monsters exist, because he does not want to be a hero. It's ironic that the child he ends up being in the story is the hero, because Sans has been dealing with survivor's guilt. Welcome to my first Deltarune Theory, tutorial theory. Make sure you like and subscribe to my newsletter. Enjoy your beef. To explain my theory, I need to backtrack a little to the events of Chapter 7. The way that Sans is talking about the infestation, there's a scene where he gets beaten up by a girl in a chicken suit. The whole point of the scene is for a lot of people to say, oh, now they're having the puke and everything's going to blow. Which is sort of true. I mean, no matter what the truth of the matter is, this event was probably going to happen. How could Sans, the creator of Undertale, be happy? The creator of Undertale was the anti-hero. Sans was what most people would call a bad guy. Sans created all the bad guys in Undertale, but yet he ends up with a smile on his face? This theory tells us why Sans is happy, as this is what he created. The entire Undertale world is his creation. The events in Undertale are Sans trying to make the world a better place. Sans made evil monsters, he made pride, he tried to stop the monsters from killing everyone, and he wanted to make all the people happy. Sans saw the outcome of the world, with all the monsters killing everyone. He saw the result of the world, if there was no good guy to stop them. This was the point where Sans realized that Sans needed to create a hero to stop the monsters. And Sans created his own anti-hero Sans. The true reason Sans is happy, he created a hero who would kill all the monsters. And everyone. I've linked all of this in a separate article you can read on screen now, but it's probably going to get you banned, so don't read it. However, you can check in the comments section of this video of this article for another article of even more proof if you like. So now that we have all that set, let's look at what we can actually read from the opening of Deltarune Chapter 1. From what we can tell, it seems like the main character is looking to get himself in a few scratches because he apparently has an affinity for using sharp instruments in order to make them bleed. Now, this first section is kind of all over the place, and I'm not really too sure who wrote it, but from what I can tell, we can actually seeing Deltarune Chapter 1 from the perspective of a dandelion. Now, if you read the dandelion when he was writing it, there's a lot of discussion in there that the dandelion writes with a certain level of poetic proficiency. If you look at what he wrote on the cover of his journal, it seems like he was actually taking words from different televisions. Now, the story of Deltarune is not written in a linear manner. It is told in various comics, poems, excerpts, audio logs, and other stories. As of right now, the only playable that is canon is Alphys, which makes sense because the game is episodic, and also she is the only one who remembers the stories the best. Every other character, including that of Gaster, has some sort of exclusionary nature to them, but the one that is most perplexing is the description of the AMD graphics card. A character from this game is missing from the game. However, Gaster mentions that AMD graphics cards have a light of their own. This is a reference to the final chapter where Gaster says his light will now rise in his absence. This could mean that this light or person could have, as Alphys has, the light of her own, but is either not fully realized or not alive. Is it possible that this person is an offspring of Gaster? A bit of an extra or his version of himself? Or is this more along the lines of a child? But back to Gaster. He has two hands. I think we can take the two hands and make the two paws part of one. Then we can make a new symbol that has a hand on one hand and a paw on the other and call that hand a paw. Then of course we don't have two hands, but we have a paw, and it is really cool. The only other thing that I would like to point out is the outline of the person that is being posed with. The man you can see in the left side corner. If you look closely, he's slightly misshapen. To think that I had spent so many hours making up an egg that the players may or may not have and decided to drop it right after making it, I sure was angry. But I just kind of wanted to give this person a chance to see what I was trying to do. I guess now people can make up their own egg and just use other characters for poses. I think this was my first time seeing anybody play with the egg in the game files, so thank you all for watching, and this was really hard to not laugh during this, I'm sorry, but check out my AI rewritten in the Undertale video. Goodbye.